Apostasy, a defection or revolt, is the formal disaffiliation from, or abandonment or renunciation of a religion by a person. It can also be defined within the broader context of embracing an opinion contrary to one's previous beliefs. One who commits apostasy is known as an apostate. The term apostasy is used by sociologists to mean renunciation and criticism of, or opposition to, a person's former religion, in a technical sense and without pejorative connotation. The term is occasionally also used metaphorically to refer to renunciation of a non-religious belief, such as a political party, brain trust, or a sports team. Apostasy is generally not of self-definition. Few former believers call themselves apostates because of the negative connotation of the term. Many religious groups and some states punish apostates. This may be the official policy of the religious group or may simply be the voluntary action of its members. Such punishment may include shunning, excommunication, verbal abuse, physical violence, or even execution. Examples of punishment by death for apostates can be seen under the Sharia law found in certain Islamic countries. Sociological definitions. The American sociologist Louis A. Koza defines an apostate as not just a person who experienced a dramatic change in conviction, but a man who, even in his new state of belief, is spiritually living not primarily in the content of that faith, in the pursuit of goals appropriate to it, but only in the struggle against the old faith and for the sake of its negation. The American sociologist David G. Bromley defined the apostate role as follows and distinguished it from the defector and whistleblower roles. Apostate role, defined as one that occurs in a highly polarized situation in which an organization member undertakes a total change of loyalties by allying with one or more elements of an oppositional coalition without the consent or control of the organization. The narrative documents the quintessentially evil essence of the apostate's former organization, chronicled through the apostate's personal experience of capture and ultimate escape rescue. Defector role. An organizational participant negotiates exit primarily with organizational authorities, who grant permission for role relinquishment, control the exit process, and facilitate role transmission. The jointly constructed narrative assigns primary moral responsibility for role performance problems to the departing member and interprets organizational permission as commitment to extraordinary moral standards and preservation of public trust. Whistleblower role, defined here as when an organization member forms an alliance with an external regulatory agency through personal testimony concerning specific, contested organizational practices that the external unit uses to sanction the organization. The narrative constructed jointly by the whistleblower and regulatory agency depicts the whistleblower as motivated by personal conscience, and the organization by defense of the public interest. Stuart A. Wright, an American sociologist and author, asserts that apostasy is a unique phenomenon and a distinct type of religious defection, in which the apostate is a defector who is aligned with an oppositional coalition in an effort to broaden the dispute, and embraces public claims-making activities to attack his or her former group. Human rights. The United Nations Commission on Human Rights considers the recanting of a person's religion a human right legally protected by the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The committee observes that the freedom to have or to adopt a religion or belief necessarily entails the freedom to choose a religion or belief, including the right to replace one's current religion or belief with another or to adopt atheistic views. Article 18.2 bars coercion that would impair the right to have or adopt a religion or belief, including the use of threat of physical force or penal sanctions to compel believers or non-believers to adhere to the religious beliefs and congregations, and the religion of belief to convert. History. As early as the 200s CE, apostasy against the Zoroastrian faith in the Sassanid Persian Empire was criminalized. The high priest Khidir instigated pogroms against Jews, Christians, Buddhists, and others in effort to solidify the hold of the state religion. As the Roman Empire adopted Christianity as its state religion, apostasy became formally criminalized in the Theodosian Code, followed by the Corpus Juris Civilis. The Justinian Code went on to form the basis of law in most of Western Europe during the Middle Ages, and, thus, apostasy was similarly persecuted to varying degrees in Europe throughout this period and into the early modern period. Eastern Europe similarly inherited many of its legal traditions regarding apostasy from the Romans, though not through the Justinian Code. With the rise of Islam came a relative religious tolerance in the Middle Eastern regions. Nevertheless, as the Middle Ages progressed, the successive Islamic caliphates began to enforce their own laws against apostasy, often modeled on those of the Romans and the Europeans. Contemporary criminalization of apostasy. Historically, apostasy was considered a criminal offense in many societies, commonly likened with the crimes of treason, desertion, or mutiny. For instance, European converts from Christianity to Islam who sought refuge in the Barbary states or in the Ottoman Empire were termed renegades in the history of the region. As of 2014, only Muslim countries criminalize public apostasy, and their apostasy laws only concern apostasy from Islam, citing Islamic law as justification. Of these countries, 11 were located in the Middle East. No country in the Americas or Europe had any law forbidding the renunciation of a religious belief or restricting the freedom to choose one's religion. Furthermore, across the globe, no country with Christian, Buddhist, Hindus, Jewish, agnostic or atheist majority had any criminal or civil laws forbidding or encouraging apostasy, or had laws restricting an individual's right to convert from one religion to another. The following countries have criminal statutes that forbid apostasy or prosecuted under other laws: Afghanistan, illegal; Algeria. While Algeria has no direct laws against apostasy, its laws indirectly cover it. Article 144 of Algerian Code specifies a prison term to anyone who criticizes or insults the creed or prophets of Islam through writing, drawing, declaration, or any other means. Further, Algerian law makes conversion from Islam and proselytizing by non-Muslims an offense punishable with fine and prison term. Brunei, a recently enacted Sharia law. Section 112 of the Brunei Penal Code states that a Muslim who declares himself non-Muslim commits a crime that is punishable with death, or with up to 30-year imprisonment, depending on the type of evidence. However, if the accused has recanted his conversion, he may be acquitted of the crime of apostasy. Comoros, Egypt, illegal. Iran, not in the Penal Code. Iraq, Jordan, possibly illegal although officials claim otherwise. Convictions are recorded for apostasy. Kuwait, apostasy is not illegal in Kuwait, although apostasy is penalized in family courts for Muslims. For Muslims, apostasy in family court can result in loss of child custody, inheritance rights and normally annulment if married to a Muslim. Malaysia, illegal in 5 of 13 states. Maldives, illegal for Muslim nationals. Illegal to proselytize for religions other than Islam. Mauritania, illegal. Morocco, not illegal, but official Islamic Council decreed apostates should be put to death. Illegal to proselytize for religions other than Islam. Nigeria, Oman, illegal according to Article 209 of Oman Penal Code, and denies child custody rights under Article 32 of Personal Status Law. Pakistan, not illegal, but apostates vulnerable to charges of blasphemy, a potential capital offense. Qatar, illegal. Saudi Arabia, illegal. Somalia, illegal. Sudan, illegal. Syria, United Arab Emirates, illegal. Yemen, illegal. A few Islamic majority nations, not in the above list, prosecute apostasy even though they do not have apostasy laws, and only have blasphemy laws. In these nations, there is no general agreement or legal code to define blasphemy. The lack of definition and legal vagueness has been used to include apostasy as a form of blasphemy. For example, in Indonesia, apostasy is indirectly covered under 156 of the Penal Code and 1965 Presidential Edict. The phrase used in the blasphemy law is penyalahgunaan dan atau penodaan, meaning to misuse or disgrace a religion. Persons accused of blasphemy have included murtad, kafir, alaran sesat, or alaran kepakayan. Indonesia has invoked blasphemy laws to address crimes of ridda, zandakar, nifaq, and kufr. Islamic activists have demanded, and state prosecutors have proposed, punishments ranging from prison sentences to death for such crimes. From 1985 to 2006, the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom listed a total of 4 cases of execution for apostasy in the Muslim world: 1 in Sudan in 1985, 2 in Iran in 1989 and 1998, and 1 in Saudi Arabia in 1992.